This week's Parsha, Yosef reveals himself to his brothers after all of the years being away. He says, Ani Yosef, oid avichai. And Mepharshim ask, why is Yosef telling them the first thing, is your father alive? If he already asked them many times, and he knew that Yaakov was for sure alive. Another Medrash speaks about one of the Tanoim that used to cry every time he came to this part in the Torah. And he would say, if Yosef, the smallest of the brothers, he said, Ani Yosef, and the brothers couldn't speak, they couldn't answer, how much more so when we get up to Shemaim, when they say, Ani Hashem, are we going to be totally dumbfounded that we won't be able to answer anything? And he would cry. What is the understanding of that Mishnah, of that Tana, also in relation to this story? So the truth is that when Yosef spoke to the brothers earlier, and really the whole lead up to this whole thing, is that Yosef was telling them and asking them, is your father alive? How's Yaakov? And they said, yeah, Yaakov Avinu is fine. Finally, he revealed himself and he said, Ani Yosef. How has Yaakov been alive the last 22 years? He has been on the floor crying in total darkness. It says that he didn't have the Gilui Shechina at all. He had no revelation of a Shechina. It was like one of those dark days where you don't want to get up, you don't want to see anyone, you don't want to see anything. And that's what Yaakov lived in for 22 years, thinking that the whole Klal Yisrael was finished, being that he lost Yosef, his precious son, that was to continue Klal Yisrael. So Yosef said to his brothers, because you sold me, because I am Yosef and I wasn't around these 22 years, you call that life, what Yaakov was living? This Tana in the Medrash also understood that this is not just for Yosef, this is for each and every one of us. Every day, in so many ways, Hashem asks us, how are you doing? And we say, I'm okay, I'm all right. At the end of the days, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to open up this whole world. He's going to open up every second and every speck of creation that we lived in. And he's going to say, Ani Hashem. Everything was just me. And he's going to say, why weren't you alive? Why weren't you recognizing in the life that you lived that it wasn't really a life without me, without the Shekhinah? Everyone always asks, what's the Shekhinah? What's some sort of Kabbalistic explanation? Of course there is. But really what is the Shekhinah? It's just that Hashem exists. Hashem is here. Hashem is right next to us, wherever we are. And this is really what we're missing in a very deep sense. One of the questions asked here is, why was Yosef doing this whole thing? It seems like a really cruel thing. Why didn't you just say, hi, I'm Yosef, you sold me the first time they came? Why do you have to do this whole thing? The truth of the matter is that he was building up to the point where Yehuda gave up his life and said, I'm not leaving without Binyamin. Why did he have to bring that out? If, like what we're saying is true, that Yosef, Ani Yosef is really, in the end of the day, is what Hashem is going to reveal to us, Ani Hashem, then Binyamin represents the last vestiges of something that we do have that's alive. Yaakov Avinu still had Binyamin, and he still felt such a deep connection that he still has some hope for something. And therefore he was so broken that they took away Binyamin from him. So too, in our lives, Binyamin represents the pieces and the parts of Hashem and our connection to Him through the Torah and Tefillah and Mitzvahs and Masim Tovim that we still do have. Those pieces we're willing to give up our life for. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu will say, it's very beautiful, it's very good, and that's the only way you could really come close to me. But in the end of the day, Ani Hashem, I was missing. So all the Torah and everything is so precious, but we have to recognize and remember at least once a day, or before we learn, or at the end of the day, wherever it is. Of course, we're supposed to keep halach and do tikkun chatzos every night. But wherever we are, we have to always remember a little bit. Hashem, there's something big that's missing, and it's just open, clear connection to you, that you exist, that you're here, and everything is just you. May we be zeicha to see this and to feel this, and here be Ameinu Mamish forever. Amen. Have a good one.